Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to the Real Relatable podcast. I'm your host Summer, and today we are talking about how to have healthy communication. I've narrowed down 10 do's and don'ts, so I've made it easy for you. You better take notes. Communication is the foundation of all of our relationships, and so it's super important that we take healthy communication seriously and that we actively try to work on our conflict resolution skills. If you're always fighting with your man or your woman, or just in general always fighting with someone, then this video is for you. Number 1, listen to understand, not respond. You can't listen and be defensive at the same time. It is so common for us when we get into an argument. If we feel attacked, we may start getting defensive, and being defensive is always going to be the enemy. We want to be right, or we don't like what we're hearing and it feels uncomfortable. And so our initial response is to want to react and debate. And we don't want to debate our partners or our friends or our coworkers. We don't want to be defensive. We want to listen, to try and understand them, to understand how they may feel, what they may be saying, and not just to win an argument or to boost our ego. Number 2, express your needs clearly. And I can't lie, when I was younger, I was so guilty of this. When I would be angry at my partner or he did something that upset me, I would not express my needs, and I would not express what I needed him to do in that moment to make me feel better or to express how I even felt. I would just be passive aggressive or be silent and just kind of like mope until he eventually gets the idea that there's something wrong, and then he has to ask me if I'm okay, to which I'm gonna say I'm fine, and I'm clearly not fine. You can hear it in my tone, my body language and whatnot. And so you need to express your needs clearly. You need to be able to explain how you're feeling, even if it sounds like you're speaking to a child, because I know sometimes it sounds like that when we are saying I statements, like I feel sad, I feel disappointed, I feel unsupported. You know, it kind of sounds like we're talking to a child or something. If you really love someone, you need to communicate slowly and with love and with clarity, because we don't want to hurt the people we love. For example, when I'm referring to these I statements and you statements, instead of saying, you never make time for me, say, I would like it if we spent more time together. You never pay attention to me, or you never compliment me. Instead of saying these you and never, never's a definite word. You don't want to say never or always either, because that's not true. You can't say that somebody never does something or that they always do something. We're human. We mess up sometimes. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't. And it's not fair to put the blame on someone and say you always or you never. We need to talk with I statements that explain how we feel. I feel sad, I feel unsupported, and we need to then express what we need from that person or what we would have wanted from that person. We're trying to think of the solution going forward. We're not just saying how we feel with no solution. We need to have a solution to our problem. And we're not trying to shame, guilt, or blame our partner. We're trying to find a solution so that we can come together and that the relationship can keep going and thriving. You don't know which fight is going to be the end of a relationship. Number 3, learn each other's communication style. Some of us need to be silent, and we need a break, and we need to process things, and we can't talk right now in the moment as we're feeling these things. We need to talk later, and we need to set a time. And some of us need to deal with it right there on the spot. I'm the person that needs to deal with it right there in the spot. And you need to figure out how your person likes to communicate, or your friends, family, and you need to respect and accept their communication style. And you don't want to force somebody to communicate in the style that you do. And it, of course, should be reasonable. Somebody shouldn't stonewall you for an endless period of time. They should let you know, hey, I need a day to think about this. Hey, I need 3 days to think about this. Hey, I need the weekend to to think about this, and then I will get back to you, or we can talk about it then when I have time. But you don't just ignore. Number 4, should be so obvious, but no yelling, no cursing, no name calling, no insulting, none of that. No disrespecting anyone. Once you do that, it is hard to go back from that. And yes, of course, people can forgive you, but you never forget. You never forget the things that people have said about you or have called you, or the things that have really hurt you. So you don't say things you don't mean. Listen with an open heart. Hold your partner's hand and say, I understand, babe. Validate their feelings and respond in a way with love. I know it's hard. Sometimes when people say things that make us uncomfortable, or it makes us feel insecure and we feel like we're not doing a good job, it can make us want to be defensive and to want to turn the tables or just leave the situation and just do anything but face the situation and just be loving in that moment. But I promise you, if you can be loving in that moment, 9 times out of 10, everything will be okay. No conflict will even happen. And when you're fighting fairly, you are not bringing up the past. You are not saying what happened last year or 2 years ago or when you first met. You need to forgive for the past mistakes and let them go. You need to move forward. If you keep bringing up the past, then there is not going to be any relationship to really look forward to. Of course, sometimes it feels relevant when somebody makes a mistake that they've already made in the past and then they do it again. We want to bring up the past because it shows the proof is in the pudding, right? But when somebody is trying to change, or they are trying to be a better person, or they're trying to do right by you, you are willing to give that person a chance, no matter if they're family, romantic, or coworker, whatever it may be, then you need to not hold anything against them. You need to let it go and, clean the slate. And even if it is really difficult to deal with these heavy emotions, then you need to communicate that you can't deal with the heavy emotions right now. And that, even if you need a third party, a therapist, a mediator, or you just need to end the relationship altogether, then do those things. But don't just ignore someone. Don't stonewall them, especially if they have an insecure, anxious attachment. That could be so hurtful to somebody who has already abandonment issues, and they believe that you have completely left them alone when really you were just taking some time to yourself. So communication is key. We need to express our needs clearly. 5, validate your partner's feelings, even if you don't agree. If they're saying something negative about you, it's not for you to say, yeah, I agree, I am a shitty person. No, but it's for you to validate how they feel. Or you can understand how they feel that way, but this is how you feel. And acknowledge the emotions before jumping to conclusions. Don't just assume things. Don't come off just accusatory and immediately off the bat being upset about something when you are bringing up an issue to someone. You need to be able to express it in a way in which, yes, you are being honest and real, but you are also leading with love. Ask clarifying questions. Ask questions. And don't just assume. Don't just listen to what somebody else said. Don't just go with the assumptions in your head. Don't go with your own narrative. You need to ask questions and find out the truth of things before you react and respond. Number 6, pick your battles. Not everything has to be a fight. If you are bringing something up to somebody multiple times and that behavior or whatever you're requesting of that person, it has not changed, that they are still treating you in a way that you don't like, it is now on you to either cut that person out of your life or to accept that behavior, because we cannot change people. So when you consistently accept a behavior, even if you keep complaining about it, but you stay in that relationship and accept the behavior, then you need to think, do I even need to have this conversation? Do I even need to fight with this person right now? Because nothing even changes. It's up to me now to either accept this behavior or to leave the relationship altogether. But we need to pick our battles, especially when we're at work or we're at a family event. We need to see these people often, and it's only for a few hours. Sometimes you just have to think, like, do I need to be defensive in this moment? Do I need to have an argument? Do I need to express my needs right now? Or will this emotion fade and maybe in a couple of hours this won't be such a big deal anymore? Say your boss pisses you off and you feel everything in your bones that you just want to march to your HR and say, I quit, I've had enough, I am over this. Sometimes we just take a few moments, maybe a few hours, take a day. But we need to not react right away and just think about our future decisions. And sometimes in certain environments, especially at work, we don't need to have any conflict. We don't need to be defensive. We just need to be there for 8 hours a day, do our job, do our best, and go back home. And we need to discern when something is better to speak and when something is better with silence. 7, do not play the blame game. Again, we are not trying to shame, blame, guilt our partners, friends, family, the people we love. We are not trying to make them feel bad on purpose. We are not intentionally trying to trigger them or make them feel how we feel. We should not be doing that. Instead of saying, this is all your fault, say, I really want to work on this with you. Don't forget to compromise. It is not your way or the highway. That is not how relationships are. It is not a dictatorship. You need to work together and compromise on things and understand how your partner feels as much as you want to be understood as well. It is not all about you. It is two people in a relationship, no matter what is going on. And so both people need to be validated and understood, and there needs to be compromises. Yeah. Number 9, which I kind of been saying through all of these, is don't be defensive. Do not lead with defensiveness. That is just the number one way to immediately start an argument. And the last one, number 10, remember to have gratitude and appreciation as much as we are bringing up negative things and having serious conversations and discussing what we would like to change and trying to change people. Let's also remember they're not perfect. We are not perfect. We are going to make mistakes, and we deserve to be appreciated and valued for the good things that we do as much as we are reminded of the bad things that we do. Remember to appreciate, value your loved ones, and to remember that these people are important to you and that you don't want to hurt them at the end of the day. When we're old and gray and we're thinking back on our lives, we don't want to be filled with resentment because we didn't forgive people, because we always cut off relationships and we never had good conflict resolution skills, or because we never expressed our needs. Whatever it is, the last thing you should be is at war in your home, at work, with your friends. If you are doing all of these things and that other person is still trying to fight with you, then maybe it's time to cut them out of your life. Anyways, guys, I believe that was 10 do's, don'ts for healthy communication. I hope that you were able to take something and that it resonated with you. Please stop fighting with your partners. Please stop fighting with your family and your coworkers and your loved ones. Life is way too short. I'll see you in the next video.